guys, and welcome to Short Walks with Shay, and today we've got a special guest, Callum.
Morning.
And we're in Poundbury. This is a little bit of what it looks like, and we'll be taking you for a short walks tour. Let's get on to it.
This place was designed in conjunction with who is now King Charles in the late 1980s. They started in 1993 and they were trying to create a small town out of classical and I suppose not really classical, but just older architectural styles, which are from all over Europe, but also from Britain particularly. And you'll see like the European influence in Queen Mother Square. It kind of looks like the Palace of Versailles, this pub here.
Right, we're going to take you through into Queen Mother Square and show you what it looks like. So you've got a great big tower here, massive great big tower. Got a Waitrose,
Of course.
because there's always a Waitrose somewhere. You've got the statue of the Queen Mother just over there. We've got a pub.
Pub's over this way.
Oh wait, where? Ah, there we've got the pub here. This big building here, because there's always a pub in Britain. And we've got Callum.
Yeah, and if you can really notice the classical influences on look at all these columns.
Yeah, we'll get a zoomed in view of some of that.
And over here, that's like classical Greek column, isn't it? And like, some people say it's a bit pastiche and a bit tacky. I think you're one of those people, aren't you?
Yeah, I think this is a little bit tacky, but that's only because they've built a new town in the style of an old town. I personally would have preferred it if they were like restoring an old town to what it should be like, rather than just building and faking a town, in my opinion. However, I have to admit that the architecture is pretty darn cool, but that doesn't take away from my personal opinion.
I can see that, although the thing I really like about it is the use of materials. I mean, look at this, it's like proper stone and a proper brick, and you just feel like it's going to last a long time. When I see a lot of new housing estates.
There you go, look.
Oh yeah, there's a whole map of it. The new housing estates with like wood frame, single skin of brick, and you think, is that going to be here in 100 years? I get the sense that all of this will be here.
So that's where we've just been, where we've just come round the corner, just here. We'll show you the butter market. We'll skip Chalcombe Square because there's not a lot going on there. That's Beechwood Square, again not too much, but we might go past it. Here's the full map. Moving over, there's the other side of Queen Mother Square with the tower we've just shown you. There's Victor Jackson Square. We haven't been there, we might go past there on the way out. Hummery Square. I did take a picture here. So
this was the first phase, so this was built in the 1990s.
Yes, this was built in the 1990s, and that is where we got our intro pictures. And then there's Holmead Walk, which goes across the Great Field, which you might see on our exit.
Right, here we are on, I don't know what street this is. It's a street leading up to Queen Mother Square. And this is one of the more controversial parts of this development, especially with blind people, is that they've done shared use carriageways, so you can they don't have any lines, they don't really have any traffic signs. The pavements are kind of blended into the road over there. They aren't here, but they are in a lot of places, and parking is
Also, blind people use bumpy bits of path to know where the end of the path is, correct?
Yep.
Well, with all these bumps and stones everywhere, you're not going to know, and as you can see here, as he said, it's all just blended into the road.
Yeah, and the reason they did that is because it does apparently slow down drivers when they are a bit confused or a bit it's a bit arbitrary, not arbitrary, ambiguous. That's the word. So that slows down drivers, but yeah, as we've said, it's not necessarily good for people who are blind or visually impaired, even though it is good for wheelchair users.
We'll give you a walk down this road, but I'll put it in like 2 times speed, so it's not so long for you guys.
What am I supposed to do? Yeah, I can't. What am I supposed to do?
So we've come to the end of that road now, and right at the end, which I wanted to show you, we've got over my shoulder Dorchester Fire Station, and that's actually the tower they used to train. So they set that on fire and things like that to train up. I'll zoom in for you. As you can see, Dorchester Fire Station with the training tower. And in case you're peckish, just round the corner there, across the roundabout, up that little road, you got McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to have a look at that McDonald's, because that's probably one of the more unique McDonald's. It's an old farmhouse, so it's an old dairy farm. I think it was called Manor Farm, because obviously all this development is really new.
Yeah.
It's only been here about 30 years, most of it, and so this was all farmland, and that was the farm, and now it's a McDonald's. Yeah, so you see the triangular roof, which is a very odd shape, which is over here, over here, over here. You may start noticing that everywhere, because that is a repeating, so-called, in classical architecture. Just like the columns, just like those sort of swirly things you see at the top of the columns, is just, well, as I said, repeating motifs, and that's one of the sort of design cues that King Charles is quite a fan of.
Sweet. So now we come up to our approach on the Butter Market, with the Butter Market Square here, and I'll show you it. It's a very big square, lots of verandas and all that stuff. As we take our walk round, you'll see that on this side it says utter, because they've missed the B. So this is the B Utter Square, I believe. Cross is what they call it. Gorgeous, lovely place. So we're coming up to what Callum reminds me to be Poundbury Square. If we've got that wrong, then he also did just say please don't rely on me for directions, so don't blame him. We'll go through the arches. Yeah, it's like I'm on skis doing the slalom. Dun dun dun! This is a square. Look at the fountain. Gorgeous.
Oh, it's got stones from Chesil Beach.
Oh, did you hear that? Stones from Chesil Beach, one of our local beaches here. It could do with a clean. It's very furry.
You know what? In Germany right now, they're turning off fountains like this. Gas crisis. I mean, it uses energy, doesn't it? It's probably using like 150 watts just to get all that water out. And we're continuing to light up public buildings, put fountains on as a shortage of gas.
And they look like this, of all things. So anyway, as we come down here, I'm going to take you to one of the factories. I actually used to work here for a little bit, and my mate Callum used to work in the cereal factory, Dorset cereal factory. But here we've got the Dorset chocolate factory. And trust me, you don't want to work here if you like chocolate, because you will not like it by the end. Is it still the Dorset Chocolates factory?
House of Dorchester, I think.
House of Dorchester.
It's chocolate. So this is one of the parts which we were talking about with that chocolate factory. I think part of the vision of this development is that there was going to be some businesses and factories interspersed with it. So this is Loop Technology, which is a robotics place, and there's also like a chocolate factory. There was a cereal factory, now closed down. And there's lots of other businesses and stuff like that, mainly about wheelchairs and mobility. Alright, do you want to guess what this building is used for? That's right, it's a carpet warehouse. From the Georgian era,
when there was window tax.
Exactly, yeah. And of course, this was built after the 1990s, so this is complete
fakery of the window tax there for you. This is what I mean when I say that it's fake. Like, if you're going to build it up and make it look the style, just go with the style. You haven't got to fake it and make it look like that, because it just, quite frankly, pisses people like me off.
It is history though, isn't it? I mean, it's
not. That's what I mean. It's not history. That's exactly what I mean. That is not a bit of history. That's a bit of look at me. We're now coming up towards the construction side of Poundbury. They're still building it, and this is what it looks like under construction. So you can see the mast revealed, if you will. It actually is modern building, modern architecture, with the outside mast sewn on the outside, obviously.
Yeah.
To make it look Georgian.
I mean, there isn't actually much difference at all between the construction style of these buildings when they first start. The footings are the same, they use concrete blocks, and then they build up bricks, or they render it like this one. And all the sort of large buildings in Queen Mother Square are steel construction,
so that
with
will
concrete.
Eventually look like this.
Ah, the 17th century. Sorry, 18th century.
The something century.
It certainly ain't our century.
It's not ours, no. Very pretty town.
Very secure site.
Yeah.
Shall we go on? Have a look around. More fake windows.
Under construction?
Yeah.
Like what?
They're still under construction, the bricked up windows. I love it. Now this is the final phase. They've been doing it in phases for a long time now.
Why have they cut off here?
Ah, that's interesting. Ah, you can see how it's constructed. It's rendered, isn't it? There's the concrete block, and there's the render. I don't know why they've cut a strip into it like this. Any ideas?
My only guess would be that either it was attached to a building that they were constructing, decided to take it into two buildings instead and put a road here, or afterwards.
Hello, how's it doing?
Afterwards, maybe they constructed the chimney.
Can you tell us why this is all torn up?
I'm not entirely certain. There was something wrong with the rendering.
Ah, right.
Where these
Will they line up? Ah, okay.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Alright, cool.
That was maybe a crack formed or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not like a structural crack. They hadn't. I don't think they treated it as one piece. They treated it as two pieces of it.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your info. Yeah, appreciated. Right, take it easy. And you. Nice to meet you.
It started in 1993, which is a couple of years before I was born.
Actually, that's good. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was born in 1994. Here's me thinking this started like, I don't know, 15 years ago. But apparently it started more like 25, 26 years ago.
Yeah. So they've been
How old am I?
they've been doing it in
28
different
years ago.
phases. So like each phase they do in a big block.
Are you
And
filming me whilst talking?
yeah, I am. Shall I turn it
Hi
around?
everyone. Yeah.
So each phase they do. I can't get that word
Like
out my
a
mouth.
phaser gun. Phase.
Yeah. They do it in a big block. And there was a big one in around 2016. They're currently at, towards the end of the last phase. This is a classic Dorset building technique because there wasn't many stones. We don't have much of a bedrock. They used flint, and I think they put it in a lime mortar. Obviously this is just homage. It's fake, like most of Poundbury. Yeah. But this is like at least a very Dorset looking building. Coming soon, a concrete block Georgian house.
Built like a 2022 house.